Titled Nonprofit Topics that Professor Beaton will be teaching. So another client-based, team-based class that she'll talk about.
Great, thanks. So I'm Dr. Erynn Beaton. I'm an assistant professor here of nonprofit management. So I teach the class on nonprofit topics. So like Professor Greenbaum said, this is a class that's client-based, it's group-based. We do projects for nonprofit organizations out in the community. It was mentioned several times earlier here that it's a really short turnaround to do a big project in a semester, and the nonprofits that we'll work with have really big projects that they ask of us. We do things all the way from evaluation to different types of strategies. We did a project last semester helping an organization determine what type of structure they should have within their organization. We did one helping them understand the motivations of their volunteers and what types of incentive structures would be helpful for that nonprofit organization. But these projects end up being quite large because if any of you are familiar with nonprofit organizations, have served on boards or worked in a nonprofit organization before, they seem to be kind of fundamentally strapped for cash and resources, right? So they rely on us and our consulting assistants to do as much for them as possible. So what that leaves us with is the fact that I need to choose clients before the class starts. And because we want to do a really good job on each of these projects, I limit the number of clients that we'll work with. It won't be everyone brings in their own client and has to find their own and come into the class. I'll have clients set up in advance. The way that will work is that this year what I'm doing is I've created an online form, and nonprofit organizations that are interested in serving as a client can fill out that form. If any of you have nonprofit organizations that you know of that could use a consulting project done for them, let me know and I'll send you the link so that they can submit a proposal. Once I know the list of students that are going to be participating in this class, I'm going to email out the forms of the responses for the potential clients to you, and you're going to help decide who the clients are going to be. So you'll have input into that. They can be anywhere from arts organizations, education, human services, activist organizations. The goal is to get a wide variety of different types of projects and different types of subsectors or cause areas so that everyone can find something that they're really excited to work on. For this class, it's really helpful to have some background on nonprofit organizations. So if you're a first-year student out there and interested in doing the nonprofit capstone, I would encourage you to take some of the nonprofit classes that are available in the curriculum. If you're a second-year student and maybe you've taken one of those nonprofit classes, that's great. If you've worked in a nonprofit before, you'll know plenty to engage in this class, but I would definitely encourage people to feel like they have some sort of nonprofit background, because we aren't going to go through the basics of what does a board look like, what does tax exempt status look like, things like that. And so what I found is it's helpful to have at least some background in nonprofit organizations. So the way the class itself will work is in the first couple weeks of class, I'll have each of the clients come in. Last semester we worked with 3 different ones. We might be working with 4 this semester, so somewhere between 3 and 4. I'll have the clients come in and pitch all of the students in the class on what their project is, what their organization is about, and then you'll do another preference process where you get to give your preference for which project you'd like to work on. Then once preferences are submitted, I will create groups of students. I found that last semester, because these projects are rather large and take quite a bit of work, we had 3 students in each group, and that didn't seem to be quite enough manpower. It was a lot of pressure. So we'll do slightly larger groups in this case. And try that out. So we'll do slightly larger than 3. I'm thinking maybe 4 or 5 students, maybe 6 in each, depending on how many clients we have that people are excited about. Then you'll continue communicating with the client throughout the semester in order to create your recommendation, and then the clients will come back in at the end of the semester so that you can present your project back to them, whatever your recommendation is for the problem that they presented us with. So this is a good class if you're really interested in nonprofit dynamics and better understanding nonprofit capacity and nonprofit challenges. It's going to teach very practical management and consulting skills. We'll essentially treat the class as if we're a nonprofit consulting firm, each working on different clients, and give each other ideas about what might be helpful for their project. And if you want to do something that really gives back to the community in Columbus over this course of the semester, we'll be choosing some clients that really need some help and are presumably doing really good things in the community, so you'll be giving back that way. My goal for the class is to create a mutually beneficial relationship. So I really want the clients to get something out of it. These are nonprofit organizations that are giving their valuable time to help us learn something from the process. So I want the projects, the end recommendations to be really helpful to them, and vice versa. I want students in this class to be able to really learn something from applying what they've learned over the course of the curriculum to this project. So I'm trying to create that mutually beneficial relationship between clients and students, so that those will be my objectives for the class. Any questions about how this class will be run or how it'll work?
So the main deliverable for the course is both a presentation and a paper that outlines your recommendation?
Correct. There will be a written recommendation. Because it's a management recommendation rather than a research paper, it'll be in a slightly different form than a research paper would be written. You'll still do research and try to find literature that's related to this management topic or issue that might guide you in how you approached your recommendation. And you'll do a review of that, but it'll be very practical in nature, trying to inform the problem that the client has. And then you'll ground all of your recommendations in some sort of theory and research. So there will be a written deliverable and then the presentation at the end to the clients. And what we've done in the past is have the clients actually participate in grading of that oral presentation as well, so that it's not just my judgment of how the presentation went, it's also their input into it.